Hello students, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Here we will be learning integrated science and mathematics. So if it is your first time to come across these videos, like, subscribe, share and comment. This channel will be helping us to learn integrated science, to acquire knowledge and be able to handle the KCSE exams. If you are a teacher or a parent, ensure that your student get this knowledge. So today we will look at integrated science grade 7. We will begin by the first strand, scientific investigation. We will look at introduction to integrated science. We will look at the importance of science in daily life, and lastly we will look at laboratory safety. Now, to begin with, let us look at the introduction to integrated science. When we were in the primary level, we were looking at science in general. But when it comes to junior secondary school, we look at what we call integrated science. So therefore, we need to know what is integrated science. Integrated science, it is a broad area of study that deals with different branches of science. It is a broad area of study. So integrated science is a broad area of study that deals with different branches of science. And these branches of science, they include chemistry, biology, and physics. So in integrated science across grade 7, grade 8, and grade 9, we will be looking at those branches of science which we say that they include chemistry, biology, and physics. So in different strands, we will be handling different branches of science. So first of all, we need to know what these branches of science mean. When you talk about chemistry, we say chemistry is the study of structure, properties, and composition of matter, and changes that matters undergoes. That's all about chemistry. When you talk about chemistry, you say it's the study of structure, properties, and composition of matter, and changes that matters undergoes. So whenever we come across a strand dealing with mixtures, elements, and compounds, then it will be handling what we call chemistry. Biology, say it is the study of living things and their environment. So whenever we come across a strand dealing with living things and their environment, it's all about biology. It only studies living things and environment. Plants and animals. We have characteristics that shows that these are living things. Therefore, we need to understand physics, study of matter, and its relationship to energy. We will be coming across a strand called force and energy. Whenever we see that strand, we must be able to understand where it comes from. Now, that's all about introduction to integrated science. So in addition to that, introduction to integrated science, we also need to understand that this integrated science will help us when we move to senior school. We can handle the same pathway whereby we will be handling chemistry as a subject, biology as a subject itself, and also physics. To move on, we need to understand the teacher, a physics teacher, or a biology teacher. It can also help one to pursue a career like in medicine, one can become a nurse, a doctor, or a pharmacist. Number two, the knowledge acquired through the study of science can help us to mix farm chemicals in our home. It can help us to mix farm chemicals. So farm chemicals in our home, we use what we call the knowledge that we acquire through the study of science. Number three, it enables us to go ahead and manufacture drugs. The drugs that we use at home to kill pests, to cure diseases, and to prevent different diseases, we use the knowledge that we acquire in science. In addition to that, the knowledge acquired through the study of science can help to make machineries, can help to make vehicles that transport goods from one country to another, from one point to another, hence enabling production in our country. So science is very crucial. Behind that, we have other importance that are noted well in our top scholar textbook. When we move there, we will be able to understand more about the importance of science. So dear students, let us be well equipped when a question comes on the importance of science, we must not fail because there are things that we interact with every now and then. Now, the last bit of our objective today is about laboratory safety. Laboratory safety. So we need to understand about laboratory safety. Okay, now we need to talk about the laboratory safety. We'll talk about safety from the word safe. We need to be safe. Then when we talk about laboratory, we need to understand the word a laboratory. So you need to understand a laboratory. So when you talk about a laboratory, we say it is a special room. It is a special room. Set aside for keeping laboratory, let's say laboratory apparatus, stock instruments, and also where experiments are done. So in the laboratory is where we keep the apparatus, instruments, and also it is a place where experiments are done. Since this is science, we involve practicals, we prove, and therefore when we do these practicals, we use what we call the apparatus. And these apparatus are kept where? In the laboratory. And in that laboratory is where now we do our practicals or experiments. Therefore, when we are in the laboratory, we need to observe some safety rules. And that's why we talk about laboratory safety. While in the laboratory, we should handle different things with a lot of care because there we store chemicals that are dangerous when we touch from the skin. So therefore, does laboratory safety measures have any importance? Keeping laboratory safety is very, very important. So, importance of maintaining laboratory safety. 1, to ensure that we avoid damages. 2, to prevent losses, because most of these apparatus are made up of glass, and therefore we should be able to ensure that we prevent them from damages. They are expensive, And when you handle them carelessly, they can break and bring damages and losses. Also, maintaining safety, it helps us as a student to do your experiment and get accurate answers. Now, let us look at safety rules. Safety rules are in the lab. Safety rules. Safety rules. Safety rules. Now, this is our last bit of our lesson today. Look at safety rules. Safety rules, rules that we should observe while in the laboratory. Here we will be mentioning some of these rules that will help us to be safe while in the laboratory. Number one, avoid eating or drinking. While in the laboratory. While in the laboratory, we should avoid eating or drinking because in the laboratory we have chemicals, and these chemicals are harmful. They can cause what we call poison. Therefore, we should avoid eating or drinking in the laboratory. 2. Ever or rush. So, never run or rush while in the laboratory. Especially when the floor is slippery, it can cause what we call a fall. We should avoid running or rushing in the laboratory. This is one of the safety rules to observe while in the lab. Ensure we put on a closed shoe. Because while in the laboratory, we interact with chemicals. And some of these chemicals are dangerous when they touch on your skin or on your leg. So to prevent that, wear before carrying out an experiment. Ensure consult teacher or laboratory technician. So ensure you consult from the laboratory technician or the teacher before you carry out any experiment so that you can get directions as far as it is required. Learn some of the safety rules that we should observe while in the laboratory. We have so many of them in our top scholar books. So when we go there, let us read, understand them, so that when they arise in exams, we can be able to get. Up to that, we have reached at the end of our lesson. Dear students, we will be uploading another lesson. Ensure you subscribe, you like, you share, and you comment, so that you will be the first one to get a notification when we upload other lessons. We will be learning Intergrated Science. We have started with grade 7. We will learn up to grade 9. So have a nice day. Let us meet.